Hi, have a nice lunch. You know, there's something going on in Washington right now that absolutely is so typical of Washington. The federal gas tax, 18.5 cents, is slated to expire at the end of September. And all over Washington, they're fighting over how much we should spend on transportation and what projects should be funded and what shouldn't. There isn't a single member of Congress who's standing up there and saying, don't do any of it. Repeal the gas tax. Or maybe have a one-year moratorium on it. We can do without new road construction for a year, give people a break, and reduce the price of gas by 18.5 cents, the size of the federal share. Nobody in Washington is even thinking about that. Like zero. It's not even on the agenda. It's a given that they'll extend the gas tax. Now, that gas tax costs every American, that includes man, woman, and child, $100 a year. So it's like a family of four. It's $400. Median household income in the U.S. is $50,000. That means 1% of their income goes to pay for this federal gas tax. And with gas prices up around high $3, $4 in some states, and most likely to rise again as increasing insecurity grips the Middle East, it's ridiculous to have this gas tax that high. Now, why won't they cut it? The highway lobby. The construction industry, which pays off these legislators. Now the current thing is, it's not just that we need the roads, we need the jobs. Well, yeah, but put $400 in the pockets of a family and you'll get some jobs out of that, and they'll spend the money as they want. And how many times do we have to be told or sold a stimulus package when the projects aren't shovel ready and you don't create the jobs for many, many more months or years? You know, when I worked for President Clinton, he proposed a 5-cent increase in the gas tax. It went from 13.5 cents to 18.5 cents. And the Republicans raised hell. It was basically the key issue that defeated Clinton in the congressional elections of 1994, that tax increase. Everybody was up in arms about it. Now, when it's expiring, and there is a heaven-sent opportunity to eliminate it, not a single Republican member of Congress has the guts to stand up there and say, I want a moratorium on new road construction for a year, keep safety efforts, keep making sure the roads are maintained in terms of safety issues, but no new highway construction. About 3/4 of the federal highway money goes for new construction, only about a quarter for safety and maintenance. So maybe eliminate 3/4 of the 18.5 cent tax. But it just isn't on the agenda in Washington. So you know what? Why don't you call your congressman and put it there? Now, while you're doing that, we have a petition on our site. I believe it's in the upper right-hand corner, but I wouldn't bet on it, where we are asking you to sign a petition to ask Congress to cut off funding to the Palestinian Authority if the United Nations admits Palestine as an observer member. Most of that aid goes through the United Nations. What Palestine wants is to be an observer in the General Assembly. Now, they can't be a full-fledged member unless it gets through the Security Council, and the U.S. will veto that. But they can be an observer, the Vatican is, for example, in the General Assembly. Observer status means they can appear before the International Court of Justice at The Hague, they can participate on the Council on Human Rights, and they can be involved in UNESCO and UNICEF and each of the other organizations of the United Nations. That's outrageous. This is a terrorist organization. And if there was any doubt that it's a terrorist organization, it just merged with Hamas, which is an avowedly terrorist organization. The United States Congress should cut off American aid to Palestinians and to the UN that goes to Palestinians if the United Nations admits Palestine as an observer nation. So please sign this petition. It goes to our members of Congress. Republicans control the House. They can do this. You don't need Obama in the Senate. It's a negative veto. The House has to pass this money for it to be appropriated. They can kill it. And I think that if we put enough pressure on them, they will. So please sign the petition. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you tomorrow.